What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the channel. This is the Rain in Real Time live stream channel. I've been live streaming on this channel for the last couple of days, due to what happened to my main channel. But, we only got a few more days left before the ban is lifted on my channel, and I'm able to upload regular pre-recorded videos over there again, which will be Friday at 6:44 a.m. approximately Eastern Standard Time. But for the time being, we are over here on this channel and building this channel up, and I'm glad that the community over here is growing. Last I checked, I am currently at 1,290 subscribers on this channel, which is up from the 989 that I had when I opened this channel back up last week. So that's a very good thing. That means the growth is definitely there, which is a very good thing, considering this is a channel that I'm only using for live streams. Let's see, who do we have so far in the chat? 007, Spidey, Letitia, Patrina Johnson, Stephanie, Nika Nostalgia. What's going on? I'm gonna go ahead and share this stream on my other platforms. I highly suggest and would appreciate if you all do the same as well. We don't have that many topics to talk about today. Just the ones that you see in the title and one additional one that I didn't put in there for a reason. But you'll see what I mean when we get to it. That'll be like the last topic I touch on. Let's see. PD Chicago B1 Pinky JYB Mickey Bricks 2.0. Kimberly Frazier, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Make sure y'all hit that like button and make sure y'all are sharing. We have some interesting topics to discuss today. And by the way, I've already started recording some pre-recorded videos to put up on my main channel. So when that ban is lifted and I'm able to upload again, which is Friday, of course, they'll be ready to go. They might be a little bit behind because I still have videos that I recorded last week that still have to get put up this Friday going forward. So I'm gonna probably be a little bit behind with some of the stories, but I'm sure y'all will understand because of the situation. Of course, it's not intentional. But luckily for me, it's not too far behind. And thankfully, I have this channel so I could try to stay up to date with a lot of things, but still have the pre-recorded videos that I want to make pre-recorded on standby for the main channel. Because I recorded one video today and I have another one that I'm going to record. At first, I was kind of trying to decipher if I was going to do it for a live stream, which would have been on Thursday. But I said, no, I'm going to turn that into a pre-recorded video because I need something to put over there as well. If I put everything over here, then I got to scramble to put something on over there. But I'm going to probably record that after I'm done with this live stream. Let's see, who do we have here? So again, we have, okay, Everyday Peoples, Ashen, Mark, Stewart, Hattie Campbell, Tina Thomas, Marie Williams. What's going on? What's going on? I'm just right now currently sharing the stream on my other platforms so people can come on over. And I think I have shared it all the places that I need to share it. Let's see here. Hattie said, I'm in Texas and power's been out since Sunday night. I was getting ready to ask, that was going to be my first question to anybody who is a subscriber of mine who lives in Texas. I hope y'all are doing that y'all are safe out there because y'all are going through it. I saw all that snow that y'all got. I couldn't decide if that was Texas or somewhere over here on the East Coast like where I'm at, or like the upper northeast, like New York and New Jersey and all those states that are known to get a lot of snow. But y'all got hit hard. And yeah, I know that y'all lost a lot of people lost power. They said millions of people lost power. But one of the craziest things I saw so far from that was that 100 car pileup. I'm sure y'all saw that, but it was a huge 100 car accident that happened due to this snow. I'm like this. If y'all are not used to driving in the snow, which I'm sure many Texans are not, because they don't get snow like that, I would highly suggest that you do not drive on the roads for any reason. Because a 100 car pileup, that is insane. They said traffic was backed up for miles. People had to find a way to take a detour to get where they were. Like, it was a mess. that when I saw that. Mickey Brick says Friday's going to be a good day when the boogeyman is back on and popping. I see you saw my tweet that I made earlier. What's going on, Joy? Who else do we have in here? Vulcan 2054. Ashton, you said, have I heard about the LAPD mocking George Floyd? Probably. I mean, I may have seen it in passing. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I have or if I haven't. I've seen a lot of stuff this past week. But it's crazy though because like the places that got snow are some of the last places that you would expect to get snow. But yeah, they got a lot of snow, ice, Arctic conditions down there in Texas right now. I mean, people flights is canceled. Like Texas, at least in Houston and probably some other parts, but they keep talking about Houston, like pretty much is on a lockdown at this point. Because I know we supposed to be like where I'm at. We supposed to be getting like we had freezing rain the other day, and I think we supposed to be getting some more wintry whatever. I hope that doesn't affect my travels this upcoming weekend, this Friday, because I'm going out of town this weekend. And it's crazy because you look at the weather for the following week, it's supposed to be in the 50s. Like next week here, it's supposed to be in the upper 50s, damn near 60s next week. Like for the majority of next week. I'm like, why does the weather always want to be nice on the weeks when you don't have any plans? But it's crazy though. But that's the weather for you, I guess. Come on in, come on in. It says I have 35 people and 30 likes. Nika inside you said, "Ooh, where am I going? I'm going to Atlanta for a conference. The conference is on Saturday, and I leave Friday afternoon, and I'm coming back Sunday. So basically, how I'm gonna do my videos is when the ban gets lifted off of my channel, I'm gonna set up the scheduling for my videos. 4 videos a day, like I usually always do. But instead of me doing them for a whole day in advance, I have to set up videos for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, the original thing was if what happened on my channel didn't happen, I was probably only going to do no more than 2 videos per day. But because of what happened and because now I'm a little backed up, now I can put out 4 videos for those 3 days, which is 12 videos in total. So y'all will be preoccupied while I'm gone. It's just that y'all probably won't have that much interaction from me engaging in the comment section, or maybe when I do my premiere videos, you won't see me commenting as much because I'll be preoccupied during that weekend. What's going on, Shar? Yeah, Mickey, I did see your response. Yeah, PC is a little upset on my comment section. I've had so many PC people come to my channel asking me what is a PC man. I think I got that comment from different people or different trolls for the last couple of days, like more than ever. Like they really want to know what I'm talking about when I see PC, because when they hear PC, they're thinking politically correct. But when I say PC man or PC woman or PC person, they know that I'm not talking about politically correct, because they were like, oh, why would he just say PC? Why not just say politically correct? And I don't give them a response. I just let it sit there. I don't even block them. I just let it sit there. That's what that I said. My code speak is working. The curiosity is there. They want to know so bad what it means when I say PC. And notice I didn't say it here because they might be lurking right now on this channel. Thank you, Tina. And what I'll do is, of course, when I get back from my trip, that following Friday when I go live again on this channel, I'll let y'all know how it was. Stephanie said they know what PC means. They just want you to say it. Probably, probably. What's going on, Versatile Legacy? Oh, I went to your website. I plan on buying a bottle of your hot sauce, but it's on back order right now. So I'll wait, when you get like a new shipment in. Because it looks good. That mango habanero one looks good. Ashton said, never telling your code. Of course they don't. Listen, I'll never tell them, but here's the crazy thing is, if they did a little bit of research, they'll actually find that the definition of what they seek is actually out there on a particular website. I won't even tell them what the website is. They probably in Google right now typing in PC, Torian Rain Reloaded, and trying to find all the answers of what that actually means. They probably breaking their little keyboard fingers right now, trying to find out what that means. It said, Joy said, if you need to know what PC is, you will already know. And Ashley said, it's like the Academy, they don't know what it means either. Right. Oh, versus how you said you have it? Cool. Then it looks like I'm gonna have to go back on the site. Because I just saw that it said back order, and I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't have any in stock right now. All right, I currently have 49 people in here, and it is 4:11. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Hold on, y'all, right quick. I just got a important call that just came in. Bear with me. Yo, brother man. What's going on? Oh, that's good. It wasn't what you thought it was. Okay. I don't remember you telling me that. Hmm. I think it was last week. Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Like I told you, I'll be there on Friday. It's looking good right now. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I saw somebody. I actually talked to this person yesterday. They said that they were inactive, and I told them, I said, look, you are currently inactive. You can't have access to anything at the moment until you get back active. And I made sure to tell them that. And I said, make sure when you get back active that you send me a screenshot showing me that you are. They said that they were moving funds from different accounts. Like they moved funds, I guess, from one account to another. I'm not sure like why that was because I really didn't want to get too much into the business about why that was. but they said that they were just moving funds from one account to another.
Okay, so quick question. Your whole back office, are you constantly talking to them? Like, I already tell the truth. Like, it's okay if you don't talk to them on the regular. It's okay if, like, someone do answer, don't answer. Like, how's your relationship with your whole back office?
I talk to them. I talk to them every day. Like I try to keep my personals all like pretty much as like one. Like I try to keep them in like a, I guess you can say like in a cluster with each other, especially when they engage with each other. So and also keep them engaged in the chat as well, most definitely.
So, all right, then. So, what I'm going to do, all right, they all have withdrawals.
I think one does. I think one has a
Okay,
withdrawal.
so that's the problem. So, right now, your relationship very good with them, but relationships only last for so long.
Yeah.
Eventually, people get fed up, that type of shit.
Hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is, I'm right now. Do you have all your people logged in Excel? That little
Yeah.
tab.
Yeah. I have them all in Excel.
All right, then. So what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
And
go
their
live.
contact, all their contact information is there, and their social media stuff is there as well.
All right, then. So I'm gonna do.
What's up? What's going on? What's up? Appreciate it.
So what I'm gonna do is because right now we gonna on lockdown
Hmm.
to fucking Friday.
Right.
So she gonna let up and shit. Now I believe this week is the perfect time for like me to pretty much like get people withdrawals and shit. So I'm probably gonna do 2 in the morning, 1 at night, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So my live trade sessions.
That's what they were looking forward to.
Uh,
That's what they were really looking for. But I know that you like something like you had got sick.
yeah, and that's why I got sick. It started on feeling back, started fucking up that type shit. So I really couldn't be consistent. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mix my live sessions with the no live sessions.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that way, in the system, you're not plugged in. We watch
Right.
the same thing, we get the same results. I'm probably gonna throw a little bit extra trades on it, shit like that.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's like I don't want to do my live trading sessions separate, go live,
Hmm.
because what happened the second time before I did that, everybody started hitting me for my separate trading sessions. Like, man, I'm not making no money on go live and stuff. We need your help. I need trades. See how like I can't be duplicated.
Hmm.
Like because I'm not gonna always be available. Like we traveling right now, I could be on the plane and I could like honestly, right? I'm being very very honest with you. Like we the whole organization and this my back office completely is with you, KT, everybody else, and we lost 39 people in the last month.
Hmm.
So that means people are active, people got refunds, that type of shit. So right now, I'm trying to get everybody ball back rolling
Yeah.
because it's like we was at an all time high in rank. You was actually the most recent rank and stuff because honestly, before that, it was a long time since any other ranks that got hit.
Hmm.
Like everybody, I don't know, like so I'm gonna try to get together
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I'm thinking like I was like in submission with some Tyler, and I still am because like she made sense. She said pretty much what I said. Like I don't want people to count on me and stuff, but it's like I feel like when I'm not doing live trading sessions or not helping people out, it's like I'm just watching my back office go down, down, down.
Hmm.
And then, you know what I mean? I already get a jump ahead on this stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm probably gonna make a channel real quick just for this week
Hmm.
and stuff. Just so everybody's plugged in and stuff. So I'm gonna send you the Telegram link and stuff.
Okay.
Like I said, this is something that I'm doing and stuff so people get results and
Hmm.
stuff. Because like I said, this week is perfect time. I don't got no outside people hitting me up.
Hmm.
None of that shit is prospecting during the day, trading at night, and early in the morning.
Right.
But that's that's pretty much it. But how you been, bro? You been good?
Yeah, I've been good. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that this weather does not affect my flight plans on Friday, because
Oh,
like because on
hey,
yeah, because listen, because I know that in Detroit, y'all just made it. Y'all just made it out of Detroit before the weather started to come in. And see, with me, it's something supposed to be coming in on Thursday. Hopefully, it's not like Texas or anything like that, like they got down there. But I don't think it's going to be that bad because my flight leaves in the afternoon. It's not an early morning flight. It leaves at like 1:40, 1:50 or something like that. So, um, hopefully I won't be affected by it.
good. I'm gonna tell you this, brother, man. I don't know what the fuck going on with these airports and why they canceling trips and shit. And it's like I don't know what's going on, but they've been canceling trips like nonstop. Like it's a person that came up to me telling me shit. They said like, bro, we got clear weather where we're going. It's clear weather here.
Hmm.
I don't understand why would they cancel.
It's because of where people are coming from. That's the thing. Like a lot of us are coming from like real cold. Oh shit, lost the connection. Shit.
I lost damn connection.
Yeah, I saw that. Now, but what I was saying was, it's not so much of where we're going, where the weather is nice. It's where we're coming from. What is messed up because we all coming from like cold Arctic places. It's not like we coming from Cali where the weather is nice, or we're coming from Florida where the weather is nice. We coming from, well, for me, from Maryland, and you coming from Detroit where it's a lot of like snow and
So
and freezing rain going on right now. And it's crazy because next week where I'm at right now, the weather's going to be in the 50s. Like that's great. I said, why the weather want to be nice when I have no plans?
exactly.
That's crazy.
That shit crazy.
But yeah.
I'm about to go in this home.
But yeah, Ty, can I call you back because I actually was getting ready to do something before you called, but I
No,
did. But
no, you good, you
but yeah,
good.
but I didn't want to ignore your call or anything like that. I'm glad that I didn't because you was like telling me some important stuff.
No, you good, brother. That's all I want to talk to you about. So,
All
all
right,
right, man.
all right. All right, y'all. I am back. I am back, and it seems like I had more people come in. Sorry, like that was a business call. Notice, you remember how I was telling you how I'm going away to Atlanta for the weekend? That's one of the people. One of the people that I work with. I guess you can say who I was on the phone with. We had to do a FaceTime call. So I am back. Sorry for the hold up, but I'm glad y'all stuck around. My views didn't go down. They actually went up. And so did the likes, but while y'all still here, continue to like. It says I have 66 people watching. Okay. So with that being said, I don't need to hold y'all any longer. Let's go ahead and get into these topics. So the first topic I wanted to talk about was Dave Chappelle. Hold on, let me pull up my phone so I can look on this so I can see and read along with you with these comments. The first topic we will be talking about is Dave Chappelle and him basically getting a win over Viacom and CBS. Because y'all remember a couple months ago, Dave Chappelle was like, "Look, y'all are not going to have my intellectual property and not pay me." Basically, so he said, "Look, I'm going to take Chappelle Show off, or you're going to take Chappelle Show off of your platform, Netflix, until Viacom CBS agrees to pay me what they owe." And that's exactly what happened. Because 2 days ago, it says Dave Chappelle thanks fans for boycotting Chappelle Show as the sketch series returns to Netflix with his permission. So apparently a deal must have been struck between him and Viacom CBS because now it is back on Netflix. And that was a pretty decent holdout because it's been off Netflix since what, November, and it's now February. And ironically, they bring it back in Black History Month. To those just coming in, y'all are not late. I'm actually just getting started. I had to be on. I had a business call to take, and it lasted for about a good 10 or 15 minutes. But I had to take that call. But y'all are not late. To those of you who are just now coming in, this is the very first topic. Kimberly said, "Good for him, but what the hell took him so long?" Because PC is going to PC. That's why. That's what took so long. They were trying to stall him out. They probably thought he was going to break or crack, like Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, you could take a lesson from this one. Vicky Diller, she did a show. What was it, yesterday? And she was talking about this. And she was saying how Dave Chappelle pretty much stood his ground and got what he wanted out of PC. And not just any PC, but the elite. The elite PC. Let me put my stuff up here so I can read the comments. So I don't have to constantly look down at my phone. But the elite, the ones who have all of this and control everything. But like he said, he thanks the fans for boycotting. So it wasn't just a one-man effort. The fans helped out as well by saying, look, we're going to withhold your revenue until you give Dave Chappelle what he wants and what is owed. That shows he just has a stronger fan base. But Nick Cannon, he had the support behind him last summer. He had the support. Just like Dave Chappelle had the support. Just like Monique had the support. And he was prepared to go in, and we was like standing, like we were right behind him. But what happened? He buckled under the pressure, and pretty quickly, might I add. And now he's a part of this Black J-ish alliance. If you saw that video I did on my channel last week, I talked about that. He's a part of that. I think he helped make it. Let's see what they're talking about. In a 10-minute video titled Redemption Song on Thursday, Dave Chappelle, age 47, said the sketch comedy series will return to the streaming platform on Friday, February 12th, months after it was removed at his request. Dave Chappelle literally had Netflix by the balls because they said removed at his request, not at their request, but at his request. And the thing is, Netflix agreed to do it because Netflix knows how much of a moneymaker that Dave Chappelle is. How many specials has Dave Chappelle had on Netflix, and all of them were successful? Like Netflix practically tosses money at him just to do a special to keep their subscriptions up and bring new subscriptions in. They wouldn't do that if they felt he was a liability. Dave Chappelle is a huge asset to Netflix, like from here on out. So of course they were going to submit to his demands. That's what happens when you have a little bit of a pull. And the thing is, Nick Cannon could have had that too, but he cracked. That's why Nick Cannon got clowned the way that he did. And the thing is, they were both going at the same company. Because Comedy Central is owned by Viacom. MTV is owned by Viacom. They were both going for their own property. And to the mods, can y'all block that Aunt Jamal? Thank you. Thank you. If you are a mod in my chat, make sure to be on guard. Don't think that just because this is a smaller channel that the trolls will not come over here. They will. And one of them just got blocked. Chappelle's show, which aired on Comedy Central from 2003 to 2006, was pulled from Netflix in November as a result of Chappelle's pay and licensing dispute with Viacom CBS, Comedy Central's parent company. I never asked Comedy Central for anything. If you remember, I said I'm going to my real boss, and I came to you because I know where my power lies, he said in the video, which appeared to be from his recent tour in Austin. He continued, I asked you to stop watching the show, and thank God mighty for you, you did. You made that show worthless because without your eyes, it's nothing. And when you stopped watching it, they called me. Chappelle, who abruptly exited the show in 2005, he said he got his name, his license, and his show back as a result of the boycott, adding that the new deal earned him millions of dollars. So, like I said, the boycott that he arranged with his fans, or maybe his fans decided to do the boycott of the show while it was on Netflix, helped out a lot with this. Nick Cannon should have thought to do the same thing. The comedian then thanked Netflix's co-CEO Ted Sarandos for removing Chappelle's show in 2020 after he asked, even though it was a financial detriment to the streaming platform. Chappelle also thanked Chris McCarthy, the president of Viacom CBS MTV Entertainment Group, for having an interest in making the past right. Finally, after all these years, I can finally say to Comedy Central, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. In a statement provided to USA Today, McCarthy said Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest comedians of our time and a defining voice of the Comedy Central brand. After speaking with Dave, I am happy we were able to make things right. Chappelle's show is also available to stream on HBO Max, which previously removed it at the end of 2020. That's another thing. Dave Chappelle has so much pull with this thing that he actually got HBO Max to pull it from their platform as well. He said, you're not going to have it on Netflix and you're not going to have it on HBO Max until I get what is owed to me from Viacom CBS. So the deal happened, and now it's back on Netflix, and I'm only going to assume that it's back on HBO Max. Can somebody block Uncle Ben? Thank you. And I bet you that Aunt Jemima Page and that Uncle Ben Page is the same people. The comedian said he wondered what his great-grandfather, who was born enslaved in South Carolina, would say if he saw Chappelle now. If he could see me now, he'd probably be like, this nigga got bought and sold more than I have, he joked. Shortly after his hosting gig on SNL, Chappelle shared an Instagram video called Unforgiven, in which he said Viacom CBS didn't inform him of plans to license the show. I found out that these people were streaming my work, and they never had to ask me or they never have to tell me, he said, continuing perfectly legal because I signed the contract, but is that right? I didn't think so either. He then asked his fans not to stream the show. I'm begging you, if you ever liked me, if you ever think there was anything worthwhile about me, please don't watch that show. I'm not asking you to boycott any network, boycott me. Boycott the Chappelle show, he said. Chappelle added, do not watch it unless they pay me. Now, that's actually smart. He said, don't boycott Netflix, boycott me. Do you know how bold you have to say to boycott, to tell people to boycott you? And while I agree that Netflix did no Monique dirty, this is what she should have did. Because what she did was she tried to say to boycott the entire streaming platform of Netflix, which I knew wasn't going to work. Because a lot of people are invested into Netflix. But also at the same time, unfortunately, she doesn't have the same kind of reach like Dave Chappelle has. She does, but not as much as she should. And that's why a lot of people were pushing back against her. They're like, how dare you going to tell us to boycott a whole platform? But Dave Chappelle said, don't boycott Netflix, boycott me. So I thought that was very strategic of him. And it worked. It worked like a charm. That was actually very smart of him. Dave Chappelle, he has a good team in his corner. Unfortunately, many people in Hollywood don't have a good PR team. Unfortunately, you can tell by their antics. But yeah, Nick Cannon, you messed up. And the thing is, Nick Cannon is so far into, is so far and so deep into what he has going on right now, he may not be able to pull himself up out of this one. He probably won't. He basically pulled a them on them. And that's something that PC don't like. So Dave Chappelle, I don't like to say this kind of thing, but I'm gonna say it anyway. he just better be careful because PC, especially the PC elite, don't like taking an L, especially if that L is handed to them by a black man. You know how many black people we lost when they gave the PC elite an L? Let's see what they people are talking about. AK Sour God says she doesn't have the Dave Chappelle cash. You're right. She doesn't. That's why I was just throwing it out there. But that's why I said, even knowing that she doesn't, that was pretty bold of her to say boycott Netflix. But it wasn't all. It also, because of that, wasn't the smartest thing for her to do. Kimberly Frazier said Monique was vindicated either way. She was, because her case went forward against Netflix. It's not like they stopped. It's moving forward. I don't know what it's at or where it stands right now, but I know that it moved forward. Can somebody block? Thank you. I don't know what. I'm telling you, these trolls are crazy. It's like they come from one channel to come to another. And the thing is, these are trolls that don't even come to my main channel, but they find this channel. But yeah, these trolls are ridiculous right now. As a matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna make some more mods in here because these trolls are like ridiculous right now. Hold on, y'all. You can't never have too many mods on this channel because I forget that this is not my main channel. And like I said, they probably all from the same account. They have to be. So far I've had Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, and then Kunta Kinte come up in here. Apparently. Hold on, I'm just scrolling through and just modding people up as I see them. I think I just modded up like 7 people so far. All right. All right, so I modded up like 7 people so far, and let's get back to it. But yeah, shout out to Dave Chappelle for doing, for making this happen for himself. This is someone who knows business. Clearly, he's not buckling under pressure. I'm just not realizing I didn't have the article posted up in the background, but it is what it is. All right, let's move on to the next story. And speaking of Viacom CBS, I think this is the perfect segue into this topic. And that is the topic of Justin Timberlake, or as Harvey calls him, Justin Timberfake, giving this 17-year too late apology to Janet Jackson. Now, it says that Justin Timberlake apologized to Britney Spears as well. I'm not sure why he apologized to her. Maybe it was something that happened in their relationship because, well, of course, if you was around back then, you knew Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears were an item. They dated. They were actually, considered a huge couple back in the early 2000s. But Justin Timberlake came out and gave this apology that is over almost 2 decades too late about what happened at the Super Bowl back in 2004. I remember when that happened. I was 14 getting ready to turn 15 when that happened. And I remember watching the performance because my friend had came over to my house and watched the game with me and my family. And we were watching it because we was upstairs and they were downstairs. And all of a sudden, when it just said that one part of the song gonna have you naked by the end of the song, and he pulled the thing off, and we saw her breast come out, we looked at each other like, what? And I was like, did my eyes deceive me when I saw that? I said that was crazy to see that. And then of course, they immediately blacked out the lights, and then they cut to commercial. And from that day forward, Janet Jackson's career unfortunately never was the same. I'm not going to say that she did kind of take a nosedive, like a little dip in her career, but it wasn't like, she was able to bounce back a little bit, but not the same way after that day, unfortunately. And of course, Justin Timberlake was able to continue to flourish in his career. Janet Jackson was actually supposed to perform at the Grammys that following week, because the Grammys always falls like a week or two after the Super Bowl. Les Moonves, the Catalyst, who has just as much, if not more, blame than Justin Timberlake in the downward spiral of Janet Jackson's career. He ended up blackballing her from that event, and then her career just even went and took an even more bigger nosedive. But then you saw what happened with him. I don't care to even look at Justin Timberlake's apology or read it. It just seems fake to me. And the thing is, I think that he's only apologizing because the fans never let that go. And rightfully so. Like, ever since that happened, he never gave a genuine apology, or at least one that was acceptable, for the role he played in that. They're going to get nothing out of Les Moonves. We know that for sure. But at the end of the day, Les Moonves wasn't the one that pulled her top off in front of millions of people around the world. All you had to do at that time was just say, I'm sorry, I apologize. It did not go the way that we had planned to do that. I apologize to Janet, her fans, to the people watching at home, such and such and such. Period. He didn't even do that. Now, I don't know if he decided on his own accord to not do that, or if they told him not to do it. But we know that her career ended up suffering behind that. But they said that I'm looking at this article right here. It says Janet Jackson's reaction to Justin Timberlake's apology is legendary. Now I actually watched this clip or whatever, and I'm gonna see if it plays. Where where is this right here? Where she is addressing in her own way Justin Timberlake's apology, and I'm gonna play that for y'all right now.
I was at home just the other day by myself, and I began to cry. I was crying because I was so thankful for all that God has blessed me with, all that He has given me. And I'm so thankful for Him being in my life. And I'm so thankful for all of you being in my life. You're so special to me. And I want to thank all of you for making control number one once again after 35 years. I never in a million years, I would never think that this would happen. I really appreciate you, and I love you so, so much. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so that was her response to that. Notice that she really didn't address the apology. She didn't really address the apology. She was just basically thanking the fans for helping her Control album go number one on the charts again after 35 years. Because in case y'all didn't know, ever since what happened with the Super Bowl back in 2004, um, well, not even then, but like within the last couple of years when this started to resurface with the whole Super Bowl fiasco, her fans made the day of the Super Bowl, which of course is the first Sunday of every February, Janet Jackson Appreciation Day. And on that day this year, her Control album, which was released 35 years ago, went #1 on the charts again. So they basically took an event like that and turned it into a whole day for her. So there's both basically they took a sour moment and made it sweet, if that makes sense. She was like, okay, so you apologize, this fake apology, but you know what? Let me go ahead and just take the time to thank my fans. I'm glad she didn't accept his apology. Like when they said in the title that her reaction to his apology was iconic, I already knew that she didn't accept it, but I wasn't sure how she was going to respond to it. And I think this was actually classic, like iconic, as they say, of how to deal with what he said or not deal with it. And she has every right to not accept it because the fans don't. Why should she? Let me see what y'all talking about. Ashton said, I'm glad she didn't address it. Sean from the side said, you was 26 when Control came out. Angie said, Moonves also wanted to end Janet's career. He stopped her music from getting aired at his station or any shows and book dealings. Yeah, like I said, that's why I said Les Moonves was a huge catalyst behind her blackballing. A huge part of it. As a matter of fact, he was the main part, to be quite honest. But I did actually have a chance when I was working at my job back in 2017. She had came and she did a concert there, so I was actually able to see her perform. And let me tell you, for a woman at the time who was turning 50, or was she 50? She still got it. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, what's going on, LVZ? You said Amy Cooper dismissed Kate. You know what? I wasn't going to address that, but I'll do a little talk about it now. It is what it is. Because what's the guy's face? Christian Cooper? Didn't he say that nothing should happen to her? So as far as I'm concerned, he got his wish. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. He literally could have had her by the stronghold. But he said, well, I don't think anything should happen to her. I think her losing her job was too much. Her losing her livelihood, that was a bit of a reach. Okay, well, now the charges are dropped. You got what you wanted. Now, she's back free to do whatever she wants. And she's probably going to do this to somebody else. So, that's my take on it. Because that wasn't, like I said, that's what I wasn't even going to bring that up in the stream, but I said since you mentioned it in the chat, let me go ahead and just say it. It is what it is. But anyway, let me move on from this topic and go to this one right here. Now, this story right here is not getting nearly enough as attention as it should. And I found this out last week, like I found out a lot about a lot of other stories. And that's this one coming out of this college where it says college suspends players for kneeling during the national anthem, causing them to forfeit the game. You know what's so funny or so interesting? These people hate Colin Kaepernick so much and detest him so badly that even still to this day, here we are 4 years? 4 years removed from that protest. And they're still doing stuff like this. That's because this man is living rent-free in their head. Still to this day. What was it? No, 4 years. I said 4 years. 5. Because it happened in 2016. I forget. It's 2021. He's still living rent-free in their head. So not only did the players get suspended for kneeling, they had to forfeit the game. That's money loss right there for the college. Well, at least for that athletics department. Several college basketball players were suspended by their school for kneeling during the national anthem, forcing the team to forfeit their game. Members of the Bluefield College basketball team, which plays in the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics League, were suspended by school president David Olive before a game Thursday once he learned that the players had been kneeling for the anthem after being specifically told not to. Well, shout out to them for being defiant. Because you know what's so crazy? They love to peddle this First Amendment speech and this First Amendment right, but only for them. And only for when they do what they want to do. But if you go ahead and do your own thing, then it's an issue. The basis for my decision stemmed from my own awareness of how kneeling is perceived by some in our country, and I did not think a number of our alumni friends and donors of the college would view the act of kneeling during the anthem in a positive way. So he thought that it would only be the players that would be on board with it and not realize that other people outside of the team would be on board with it, such as the alumni. Mind you, alumni friends and donors of the college. Let's pay attention to that donors of the college part. You mean to tell me you actually still wanted to suspend those players and have them forfeit that game, even when donors of the college agreed with what they did? Some of these people are not wrapped too tight. Like, wow, that's money that you could lose. That's money that's revenue to the college you're probably going to lose. Olive said he found out the players knelt for the anthem before a game on February 1st and told the coach to have the team stop, but the players took a knee again before a game the next day. Some student athletes at the school were reportedly upset about Olive's decision and say they were told by school officials they were permitted to kneel. Why would our school contradict what they said? Jules Gray, a football player at Bluefield College, said about the controversy. We had meetings before the season with the athletic director and the president, and they stated that we can kneel and they'd support and be behind us 100%. Olive said he understands the player's perspective, but, and there's always a but, argued that the message isn't being heard when they choose to protest during the national anthem. So you can already, I bet this guy's a 45 supporter. But like I said, the remnants of what Colin Kaepernick did back in 2016 is still being felt to this day. Here we are in 2021, and people don't really be kneeling like that anymore. Like, they kind of moved away from that, and they decided to do it, and he's upset behind it. But see, when you put out propaganda and mainstream media aids in that, this is what happens. But then again, let's play this for a second. Mainstream media probably didn't even have to put out propaganda about this about the kneeling thing. Let's just say they were on board with it and was like fine with it. They didn't twist any words of what Colin Kaepernick said or what he was doing. Many people would be set in their ways and feel that that was still being a form of disrespect. And he would have most likely did it anyway. Right, Ashton, you said it shows you how Colin Kaepernick has influenced the masses, and he did. I have heard and I understand the perspective of our players as to why they desire to kneel during the national anthem. I also know this form of protest immediately shuts down a number of individuals from listening to the intended message because of their perspective regarding the flag. It's not about the flag. See, they still hang up. It's not about the flag. It was never about the flag, but they want to still act dumb and pretend they don't know what it was about. Like, how many times did this man have to explain to y'all why he did it? But this is exactly why. This is exactly why as black people, we don't need to be explaining shit to them. They already know. They just like to play dumb. Why do you think I don't give the time of day to those trolls who come to my comment section asking what this PC man or PC person or PC woman thinks? Why would I tell them that? Because if I tell them, they're going to come back with something else and say, well, why are you calling people palm color? That's racist. That's reverse racist. Listen, I've done so many videos over the years, I practically not only know their lingo, but I know how they move. So why even give them the energy? Kneeling for the national anthem and abstaining from the ceremony altogether was brought to the forefront in 2017 by former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who took a knee in protest that he said was motivated by racial injustice in the United States. There it is right there. This whole paragraph, this whole statement. That's why he did it. But they want to say, oh, it's disrespecting the flag. And 45 had a huge hand into pushing that propaganda. But a lot of people don't want to even admit that, but it is what it is. And then, Roger Goodell, he didn't make it no better. His jellyback ass. That man, I swear that man has no spine. He doesn't, in my honest opinion. But yeah, they suspended them. The president, mind you, the president did that. The other faculty and staff were on board with them doing it. They said that they were permitted to do it. They're exercising their freedom of speech. I bet you that president was on board with the people who went to the Capitol back in January. You know what's so funny? They say, oh, they're exercising their freedom of speech. They're being patriots. They're being this. They're being that. But God forbid you actually kneel during a song that's probably a minute or some change long. Oh, you're like a terrorist. I swear the logic is lost on people like that. But I don't spend, but like I said, I don't give the energy to, explain anything like that to them whatsoever. Let's move on to the next story. Halle Berry. This is a very interesting story. I don't know whether y'all care or not about it, but we're going to talk about it. So, yeah, Jordan, I called him a jellyback. Like I said, Roger Goodell doesn't have a spine, in my honest opinion. So, this is an article coming from Vanity Fair talking about Halle Berry. And it says Halle Berry compares paying child support to her ex Gabriel Aubrey to extortion. Now, isn't that interesting? Now, I've gone on to say, I've said this before in videos, I've said it on Twitter, and I'm going to say it here. Halle Berry is the common denominator of all her relationships. She is. She just is. It's crazy because, Halle Berry, we don't have to sit here and lie. Halle Berry is an attractive woman. She's always been attractive. But I think she's been using her attractiveness over the years to get what she wants, but I think it's backfiring on her. So she says that, especially now that Halle Berry, let's be honest, she has hit the wall. She has hit the wall. Halle Berry compares paying child support to extortion. Isn't that funny how she, as a woman, wants to compare having to pay child support to her ex as extortion? But I bet if the tables were turned, she would not be calling it extortion. As a matter of fact, this is a rarity on for a couple of reasons. One, the court system is making her pay child support. A woman pay child support. That's very rare because it's always usually on the man to pay child support. Two, she's a high-profile celebrity. She's a high-profile actress that has to pay child support to her ex. That's also a rarity. But the fact that she compared it to extortion, knowing good and damn well, if the shoe was on the other foot, she wouldn't have said that. I said, well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Spirit of Justice said Halle Berry could break up with her shadow. That was a good one. And then recently she had posted up. I think she was in a relationship with some guy. I don't know if the guy's older or maybe around the same age. He could be around the same age. Or could be younger. I don't know. She's a black guy. I know, shocking, right? She hasn't. When was the last black guy she's been with? With Eric Benet, um, who she was with, and she was saying some wild, off the wall stuff, and then allegedly he had broke up with her, and then she posted a picture up on Twitter of them together on Valentine's Day, laying in bed, and then on top of that, you have Halle and her son, or was it her daughter or her son, saying, he could, be, adopt his femininity and wearing all kinds of stuff. Listen, we call it Holly weird for a reason. We call it Holly weird for a reason. Like I said, Halle Berry is an attractive woman, but personal life wise, she's not wrapped too tight. She has a lot of baggage going on. Too much. She has she has dump trucks worth of bags of baggage going on in her life. I don't know if she's seeing a therapist, but maybe she needs to. Let's see what they're talking about. Halle Berry may be dutifully paying $16,000 a month. First off, $16,000 a month, Halle Berry, you actually got off scot-free compared to some of these men out here who got to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in child support and possibly alimony, or not alimony, but spousal support. You lucky you only got to pay $16K. It says with the to her ex Gabriel Aubrey to help with the cost of raising their 12-year-old daughter Nala, but the actor made it very clear on Instagram that she's not at all happy about the situation. Berry posted a quote to her Instagram account on Saturday that read, "Women don't owe you shit." Uh-oh. She's about to go into a gynocratic rant. She's about to have a menstrual rant, sparking a heated debate in the comments section about traditional gender roles and expectations. The actor reportedly replied in a since-deleted comment writing, "It takes great strength every day," or she said every day, "to pay it. And by the way, it's wrong and it's extortion." So basically what she she told on herself, and it sounds like she was proud to do it. So basically what Halle Berry is saying, that the gender role when it comes to child support is that it always falls on the man, no matter how the mother is. That's what I'm gathering. That's what I'm gathering from this. That the gender role says that the man pays child support and the woman just collects. And I say the woman collects because let's be real here. A lot of women, they get that child support money and a lot of them splurge more so on themselves than the child that they're supposed to be getting the support. But $16,000, Halle Berry, you came up good. That's nothing compared to how much your ex probably would have to pay if he had to pay child support. When asked by another fan if she thinks that men paying alimony and child support is also wrong, Berry added, "I'm not going to speak on alimony as I have never asked for it nor have I ever paid it. However, as for child support, I feel I can speak on it as I've been paying on it for a decade now." So you've been paying what seems to me is $16,000 a month for a decade, and you're mad. Well, I'm sure there are plenty of men out here, even men who are not well off, that will disagree with you being mad. I'm talking about men who have checks garnished behind child support. They can't even support themselves, light bills, water bill, food, clothing, because their checks get garnished and sent to these women. Then the same thing happened with Alicia Tyler. Now she didn't have children with her ex, but she ended up having to pay him some kind of spousal support while he ended up getting married with a white woman and having a child while still having to pay spousal support. And $16,000, and that was for a decade. It sounds to me like her ex wasn't even trying to hit her pockets like that. Because if she was paying child support for a decade and 16,000 is what she's still paying right now, it sounds to me like he wasn't trying to get her for money. So what that tells me is that when a man goes for child support and he's successful, he's actually reasonable with the amount of money in demand, opposed to when a woman asks for child support, she is given these wild six-figure ranges. So it begs the question, who is that money going to? Like, think about that. He's only asking for $16,000 a month in child support. And you have women out here asking for $160,000 a month in child support. And then on top of that, spousal support, which is probably hundreds more thousands of dollars. See, a lot of people don't think about that. She continued, I feel if a woman or a man is having to pay support, that is way more than the reasonable needs to help support the child. I think that is wrong. I understand some parents, man or woman, may need help, but I also feel that in these modern times, both men and women have the responsibility to financially take care of their children and work hard and make every effort to do so. So basically what she's trying to say is that there needs to be more co-parenting. And in that regard, I do agree that, when it comes to co-parenting, that, people do that to avoid having to pay child support. But something just tells me that she did something in that relationship that caused him to want to get this child support. Who's to say that he probably wanted to co-parent with her, but she probably bitched about it. And then he was probably, he was fed up and said, okay, I have to take her to court. I have to take her to court. And this is what I'm asking for. And the court agreed, and that's what happened. At least her checks aren't getting garnished. Because I'm sure Halle Berry can afford to pay that $16K a month. She's still doing movies, she's still getting roles, she's still making money. But I can't help but think that like I said, if the shoe was on the other foot, she would have been garnishing her ex's checks like it was nothing. But because now she's on the receiving end of it, now she wants to have a whole vagina monologue about why she shouldn't be paying. So let's see, what else did she say? The way many laws are set up, people are allowed to use children in order to be awarded money to live a lifestyle that not only they did not earn, but that is way above and beyond the child's reasonable needs, and that is the wrong and where I see the abuse. The laws are outdated and no longer reflect the modern world, she reportedly added. This is just my opinion. I clearly don't own the truth. I can say I'm living it every day, and I can tell you it's hard. I do totally understand the feelings of those men who feel they are and have been taken advantage of by the system. She later thanked her followers for their love and support, saying, this is an issue that affects so many families, and I feel it's a topic worthy of our discussion. My question to Halle Berry is this. Where was all of this energy before you had to get put on child support? Like, why didn't you say anything to speak up for a lot of the men that get pushed into this or who get funneled into this? But when it's you, now it's a problem. Now you want to become the child support advocate. But we can read between the lines of what she's saying. She just doesn't want to pay it. And she feels that it should fall mainly on the man. She's not trying to say, but that's what she's saying. Read between her words, that's what she's saying. So it says the 2014 child support ruling was based on Berry's and Aubrey's respective incomes at the time. The Oscar winner made roughly $4.7 million in a 9-month period in 2012 compared to the $192,921 Aubrey earned from October 2011 to October 2012, according to legal documents obtained by E! News. On top of child support, she pays the full tuition for Nala's private school as well. Berry also has a 7-year-old son, Maceo, with ex Olivier Martinez, for whom she does not currently pay child support, as the former couple's divorce proceedings, in which the actor filed a petition to represent herself, are still ongoing. Well, there it is. He made less money. But see, that's even still rare because the courts could have still made him pay it, even with him making way less money than she did. But he makes less money. And look at that. It says on top of the child support, she also pays the full tuition for their daughter's private school as well. Now, they didn't say how much the private school is worth, or because that's annual. They never said how much that is. But what she's really upset about is this part with her ex-husband, or not having to pay child support for the child that she has with the ex-husband. So she probably thought in her mind, why am I paying child support to one child when the other one agreed not to have put me on child support? So now we're really getting down to it. Why she's upset? She's upset because one put on child support and the other one didn't, and she feels that she should have to pay nothing. She probably said, I have no problem paying the private school, but the child support, that's a bit much. She's only paying $16,000 a month. She's lucky that's all she's paying. But yeah, Halle Berry, you gonna have to eat that one. Sorry, it is what it is. But yeah, like she's something else for saying that child support. Right. AK Side guy said Halle child support ain't for women, fair for women. Berry. That's the best way to put it. She feels that gender roles includes that the man should pay the child support and not the woman. In so many words. But let me move on to my next story. Hold on. Okay. So a few of you have sent me this story right here that's coming out of New Jersey involving this woman right here named Wanser Brown. It says foster mother arrested as boy rescued from New Jersey house after teacher spots chains on him. This is why I feel bad for a lot of these kids that's in the system, because they got dealt a bad hand genetically, and then they got dealt a bad hand for a lot of them they get dealt a bad hand when they get put into the system. Then they get dealt an even badder hand sometimes when they get put into the clutches of someone like the person you see on your screen. And then you wonder why many of them, when they do make it out, some of them are still kind of messed up. There's a lot of trauma there. But let's see what this is talking about here. A New Jersey native has been placed under arrest after a 12-year-old child who she fostered in her home was found chained to a fan inside her Newark home. 66-year-old Wanser Brown's heinous act came to light after a keen-eyed teacher called the police after spotting what appeared to be chains on his student. The teacher called for a wellness check after seeing the chains during a virtual class. Now just imagine if the teacher wasn't paying attention that much. Police officers visited the property located in the 500 block of Clinton Avenue at 10:10 a.m. on February 10th. They were let in by a third-floor tenant, and police found the 12-year-old boy hiding under a blanket in the bedroom in a room on the second floor. On locating the boy who was under the foster care of Brown, he was found confined in a small bedroom and tethered to a fan by chains and padlocks, revealed Newark's Public Safety Director Anthony Ambrose. Brown showed up 20 minutes after the police arrived, and on being questioned, she told the police that she restrained the boy regularly because he had a tendency to run away, especially when she went to shower. And that was your best strategy? If that's her true story, but I don't believe that story. She was arrested and charged with 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. It is yet to be determined as to how long the boy was tied up before he was found. However, Ambrose praised the Newark teacher for his acute observation that led to the police to Brown's house. The boy was taken to the University Hospital for evaluation before being released to the custody of the New Jersey Department of Child Protection Permanency. Thanks to the courage of a concerned teacher who requested a wellness check, this foster child was rescued. We are investigating this incident along with the Essex County Prosecutor's Office to gather as much information as possible about how and why this child was put in this horrific situation. We are pleased that he is now safe. We are grateful that his teacher suspected that he was in need of police assistance, he further added. Newark Teachers Union President John Abergen too weighed in on this incident. We are happy to see that the student is safe and sound, he said. We leave it to the law enforcement to determine what exactly happened here and pray that everyone gets the help they need. We train our teachers and support staff to check on wellness regularly. We're proud of the work they do each and every day. This incident remains under investigation by the Special Victims Unit of the New York Police and Essex County Prosecutor's Office. These charges are merely accusations, Ambrose added. This suspect is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That is crazy. And imagine how many times this boy has been chained up. They said chains and padlocks. Do you know how big a padlock is? And she looks crazy. Y'all know what my mantra is. If they look crazy 9 times out of 10, and I have to increase that 9.5 times out of 10, they most likely are. You can tell, look at how aggressive her eyebrows are drawn on. I always say, if you come across a woman that has aggressively drawn on eyebrows that look like that, she's crazy. And I'm going to stick by that. But shout out to that teacher for being very observant of his surroundings. Well, not his surroundings, but of the surroundings in the video, in the virtual class, to see that this boy was chained to a fan. And they said a fan. I'm like, what fan was he chained to? Was he chained to a fan, like a standing fan or a ceiling fan? I'm guessing a standing fan, because it would look real obvious if he was hanging from a ceiling fan. Terry Jones, I hope this kid is okay. Get him some therapy. Yes, most definitely. He's going to need a lot of it. Because he was chained to a fan. Imagine what else he was going through in this house with this woman. And her excuse is, I did it because he frequently liked to run away. I've heard of people who have run away from homes and they never resorted to having to chain their child to a fan. Or anything for that matter. And you got a question too. Knowing that this boy was chained to a fan and possibly other things, you got to ask the question of why did he run away? Maybe to get away from her. They need to do a thorough investigation on this woman. Because I would not be surprised if there was more abuse going on in the house, which is why this boy was trying to get away from her. But that's just my guesstimate on it. But yeah, I hope that the boy is they said that the boy is safe now. Hopefully he gets the care that he needs, because he's going to need it. But unfortunately, that means now he's going to be probably thrown right back into a group home of some sort, and he's going to be shuffled around again to see to find the appropriate foster home for him to go to. Now I'm gonna get ready to talk about my last topic. Now, y'all are looking at this right now, and y'all listen. This is my Twitter page right here. Well, at least the this particular comment right here. Now, I posted this up on February 14th, which was Valentine's Day. I posted it up on that day, which was 2 days ago. And right here, all you see is something that says, speaking of agendas. But you don't see a tweet there. It was a tweet there. I retweeted it and left that comment there that says, speaking of agendas. Now, if y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all know where I'm headed with this. So, on the 14th, this Twitter account by the name of UN_women tweeted this picture. What was a picture / GIF, meme, whatever you want to call it, where it had different couples showing affection to each other. Now listen to how I break this down. From right to left, and I'm doing it from right to left because that's how I remember it in the picture. The first picture had a man and a woman basically embracing each other and kissing, and I think based on the color of the man, he looked like he was a Latino or maybe a light-skinned black man, I'm not sure, and the woman was a white woman. The next couple was an old Hall G couple, two older men. Like when I say old, I'm talking about AARP old. The next picture, or the next couple, was, it looked like a Hindu woman and a butch PC woman. Think of Miss Trunchbull from Matilda. That's kind of what she reminded me of. And the last couple, if you even wanted to have it be a couple, and this is the reason why this tweet is no longer available and you can't see an actual visual of it and I'm explaining it to you, was of a single, lonely black woman hugging and embracing herself. Man, when I told you, them people, when they got wind of that, they went in. I mean, they literally did a damn derby in the comment section of that post. And that's why the picture is not there right now. That's why it says tweet is unavailable, because they deleted it. Because people went in on them. And I'm mad they deleted it because I want y'all to see it. But what I just broke down to you and gave you the description of, that's what was there. And then they made it stereotypical because it was a dark-skinned black woman. Some people thought that when they looked at the picture that she was holding a baby and holding and caressing the child, but she was hugging herself and doing like this with a smile on her face. So I'm like, wait a minute. So you have everybody here has a partner, is with a significant other. You even threw in Hall G members when this is supposed to be a post mainly dedicated to women. So you threw two men in there, two women, a heterosexual couple, and a single lonely black woman who was quote unquote expressing self-love. They did not even give her a partner. I said, it was so many agendas in that one post. So many. But the one that was glaring was the black woman that was by herself. And of course, I'm almost 100% guaranteed that the page that posted it is ran by PC women. They thought that was a good idea to post. They thought that was a good idea to post. Ladies out there, to the black women out there, this is exactly why I and many others have said that that you had no place in feminism. Because that's what they think of you. It wasn't a man that posted that. It was other women who posted that. I think the biggest insult, like I said, is the fact that this was supposed to be a post dedicated to women on Valentine's Day, that they put a old Hall G male couple in there with each other and had the black woman by herself, lonely and single. Man, I wish y'all could have seen that post. But based on how I described it, now you can see why they deleted it, because the people, especially a lot of black women, they went in on that post to the point where they forced their hand and they had no other choice but to delete it. Okay, August Dreams just posted in the chat the tweet that I'm talking about. And I said, here I am as a guy, and I'm mad. I was upset looking at them. I'm like, wait a minute. You don't have to like try to investigate to try to figure out what the hell they just tried to do or what they were saying. But then when you had people trying to white explain it in the comments talking about, well, maybe it's just self-love. Bullshit. Talking about some self-love. If that was the case, then every other person in that picture would have been self-loving on themselves too. But it's basically saying that black women can't get a man, or they can't keep a man, that they have carried on with this I'm strong and independent trope, and so many other things that keep them single and lonely. And that's why I've said to black women, they have got to stop feeding into that monster of a machine that puts out stuff like this. Because what is that going to tell other people out there if they saw that? It's like predictive programming at this point. Kimberly Frazier said, just like the dude that put out his Christmas card with everyone booed up except for the dark skinned woman, right? Or just like the one with the I did back in I think it was in December with the pajamas, the onesies, where you had everybody there. We had a family, but then you had the woman right there. It was just her and her kids. And I'm like, the one, and then we found out the woman was married, but they just didn't have a picture of her with her husband there. I'm like, y'all could have rescheduled to shoot that, but y'all made it seem like she was a single mother. Right, thanks, Angie. Burt's Bees. That was the name of the company I was talking about with the onesies. So they did that then, and now they have this. But this one, in my opinion, was worse. That one was almost a complete, I mean, that one was an insult, but this one was a true and utter insult right here. Because it's saying that this woman has nobody. And the thing is, it was an illustration. That's what makes it even more worse. It was an illustration. You mean to tell me you could not draw her with another man? But that just shows you right there that they would prefer to see us alone and divided than together and united. Damn, that rhymed. I didn't even expect that to happen. And then you take into consideration all the different commercials that they put out with the different couples nowadays. Yeah, it's like I said, it's one big media machine. Done intentionally. It is on purpose. It is not on accident. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. Yes, Tina, it was a drawing. It was a illustration. It was a mobile illustration. And they had her hugging up on herself, smiling like she was so happy. I'm like, it didn't even look natural. Okay, okay, so the tweet that you were trying to put out there was the same one. Yeah, it's this one right here. It's no longer there because they deleted it. But yeah, that was pretty much it. That's pretty much all I had for today, for today's stream. Shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to anybody who has subscribed to the channel. I can't see it at the moment. We will be back again on Thursday. And Thursday, that'll be the last time that I do these impromptu live streams, because hopefully going forward, we'll just go back to the Friday ones, because the day after Thursday, of course, I'll be back posting my pre-recorded videos onto my main channel. But shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to everybody who stayed, who listened and interacted with me while doing these topics. And we will be back at it again on Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll do the same. And I will talk to you all later.